Okay, welcome back. This is Reality Check. I'm Monica Zukas. We're talking about coal this evening. There's just so many facets of this industry. There's so much good going on in Southern Illinois coal right now, but then again, a mine was just shut down. 400 jobs were lost, and a couple weeks prior to the closing of the mine, they had a tragic accident, and we lost one of our local miners at age 30 in a horrible accident. So there is a back and forth. You know, I'm thankful that, you know, it's almost Christmas and my family has great insurance and my husband's getting a nice paycheck every 2 weeks. There's 400 other families, many of which I know, that have children that go to school right along with my children that are worried about, should we spend our money on Christmas? Because daddy's looking for a job. Anyway, I wanted to talk about some of the things that go on underground. Stephanie, I haven't really got to talk to you yet, but what in the world possess this cute girl to say, I think maybe I'll be a coal miner? Like, is this something you discussed with your mom and dad or something you just did? How old were you whenever you decided, like, let me apply for this?
I was about 24 years old, and I decided to, well, I've always done, like, hands-on stuff like that. I've never liked to sit in a cubicle, type on the computer, or anything like that.
You weren't secretary material?
No.
Okay, so you're like, let me do some work.
Yes. And whenever I went and applied there, they thought that I was applying for that position. They're like, oh, well, yeah, okay. You're applying for this position. I'm like, no, I want to go underground.
Were they like, are you sure?
Yeah.
So had anyone in your anyone in your family mined, or did you have some like buddies that were miners, or like what provoked you? Like, let's do this.
Yeah. A lot of my friends had mined, and then my uncle had been underground, and he's still there, actually.
So did you like get the job at the first place you went to applying?
Yes.
And so, your first day on the job, going underground, well, I mean, you had to go to school, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you go to school, take your classes, get your certificate, and then, okay, so you're good to go. Mm-hmm. So do you pop on your overalls? Did you really have any idea what was in store for you that first day?
I did not. No.
Were you shocked?
I didn't know what to expect, but I went on the cage, and I was surrounded by a bunch of guys, felt like a little cockroach, you know, coming in there. And went underground and didn't know what to expect, but...
Was it dark?
It was very dark, yeah.
Was it loud?
No, not till you get, like, on the unit and whatnot.
So what were the guys like towards you in the beginning? Like, oh, were they nice to you, like, hey, prissy girl, or were they like, whatever, you are in our house, get the hell out, you don't belong here? What was the sentiment with the crew you were on? Did you know any of them?
I knew some of them, but at that shift, everybody's on a different shift, so, like, a lot of my friends were on different shifts at different times and whatnot. I just went on there not knowing what I was going to get into and whatnot.
So was it for fun? Was it for money? Was it for a challenge? What was your main motive?
Altogether, something I've never done before. I like to do a little bit of everything, and the money's good, just going down there, and especially, like, it's more of a guy's job, you know. And
but I mean, like, I always had more friends that were guys than girls growing up. Because
so
I'm like, the girls are getting on my nerves. You guys are fighting all the time, whatever. I want to ride bikes. I want to hang out. I want to throw dirt clods. I mean, just, you guys are more fun.
Yes.
So
exactly.
tomboyish helped, right?
Yes. Of course.
So you go down, and the first day, not too freaked out?
No.
The darkness
like I said,
is
I
what...
didn't know what to expect. I had no idea, you know, and I thought actually I was going to get picked on a lot.
Right.
You know.
So were you kind of prepping like, okay, they're going to mess with me? So how do you do like with the shower room? You're not in the shower with all these guys, right?
No, we had women showers.
So were there other women at your mine?
There was, but not a whole lot. I was one of 8.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And did you work with them at all?
Yes. Different shifts.
So how did you like it?
I loved it, yeah.
What was your favorite job you did down there?
Drove a shuttle car.
Really?
And then, like, driving a shuttle car, like, you go above ground and you tell everybody, you know, they ask what you do at the mines and whatnot. Shuttle car to them is like driving a bus. Oh, so you took all the guys, you know, to where they needed to go.
So yeah, she's driving the party bus down. So they think the shuttle car is you're shuttling people from the Cardinals game back to the Metro.
Yeah, pretty much.
But what they don't realize is, like, does anybody have the stats or, like, what does a shuttle car look like? It's as long as my house, right? Like, how many feet long or how many pounds is a shuttle car? Does anybody know the stats?
No, I don't know how much.
No, I mean, like, approximately. It's not the size of my Camry outside.
No, it's about 3 of them.
Wow. I mean, isn't it like hundreds of thousands of pounds?
Well, it's amazing. The thing is probably 14 or 16 feet wide, you know, and you got to, I mean, if she's driving a shuttle car,
No,
she's
how
driving it
tall
with
are you,
precision,
first
you
of
know?
all?
5'3",
And how much do you weigh?
140.
Okay, so we've got this little tiny thing like, oh my God, here comes this shuttle car and this
Watch
little bitty
out.
girl's driving. But I mean, if you get in front of the shuttle car, you're not going to be okay. Like what people don't understand is like you said, well, I drove the shuttle car. Oh, so you were busing the men back and forth.
so you just
No,
stuck
like
them
I
back and
drive the
forth.
shuttle car. Like I've seen
It's right on the
pictures of my
cable.
husband in the shuttle car and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell's going on under there?
And
Like that is
especially
a
in a tight space. You know,
that is
it's
a
like flipping
huge
around and-
piece of equipment.
Yeah.
And then he talks about like hanging curtain and things. And I'm like, why would you hang a curtain? He's like, well, so the airflow's okay. I'm like, what about the airflow? And he's like, well, I mean, if it's not okay, we're all going to just kind of die.
Yeah.
Like it's a science and it's
Exactly.
crucial and everything has a meticulous, detailed spot. But does everybody get complacent? Like after you were there weeks or months, were you like, okay, whatever, I'm at work. It's just like driving a car. Man, did I just pass Hardee's? I don't remember seeing Hardee's a while ago. So
You're
do
in
get,
that certain mindset, like everything.
were you ever scared?
The first day that I went on the shaft, yeah, because I didn't know what to expect. But once I got underground, I was fine.
So did you ever
Because
see
it's
any?
a whole different world underground.
Did you ever see any explosions or any major injuries or anything that you thought, I've got to get the heck out of here, I do not belong here?
No.
But you did get complacent, like this is every day, I do this every day,
Yeah,
I'm over
I
it.
mean, it was just a routine. You just did it. You went underground not knowing what to expect.
When
at
it was
any given
quiet
moment.
and no machines were running, did you ever sit there and think, God,
This
did you
place
ever
could-
any hear like creaks or cracks or
Yeah.
like, ooh, this could
Oh,
not
yeah.
be good?
Yeah.
Was
of
there
course
ever
it
any
is.
falls or anything like that when you were there?
There was falls, but not in my unit whenever I was there.
Britt, did you see anything scary or have you ever been scared underground?
No. I mean, I've seen some falls, but they've been on the belt line. Like our last one was 37 feet high. And
Okay, yeah, so a lot of people, you know what they've seen off TV or what they imagine, like me with the pickaxe. I'm like,
Well,
oh,
if-
you're 54 inches. So you're underground, and your roof is usually like, what, 6 to 8 feet tall?
It depends on if the miner man, how low he wants to cut it.
And so all of a sudden, it's falling out, and you can see up 30
well,
feet?
it's different. It's different, too, because at our mine, we weren't a longwall mine. Mock, Aiken, American Coal, they're longwall mines. You're hanging hog panel, T-channel, you know, all that stuff. And you've got to cut it a decent height, you know, for the long wall and stuff like that. But our mine, most of those miner men, I mean, now when I was pinning, it wasn't that bad back in the day. You know, they'd cut it for 4 feet high, and you're putting up 6 foot pins. So I mean, it all depends on the coal seam. And a lot of mines, they don't want you cutting rock, staying out of the rock. So
I think we have a caller. John from Christopher, are you on the line?
I am.
Hi, how are you this evening?
Good, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. What would you like to add this evening? Do you have any questions, or do you have a comment?
Well, my biggest comment is I've been a miner since 1980. I started in the mines in 80. I've seen a lot of mines come and go. Unfortunately, our economy does that to us. The thing I want to talk about is in the early 90s to mid 90s, the mines in this area started shutting down, and it really put a strain on all the small towns and small businesses in this area.
Right.
And unfortunately, we're starting to see that happen again. So, you know, it's not just coal miners we're talking about the whole community.
Absolutely. And one of the things, you know, I had a friend call me before the show tonight. Her husband works on the barge. And I had
Right.
never in a million years thought, oh my gosh, he's affected. Because they're transporting coal back and forth. And because this mine shut down, and, you know, we talked about at American Coal, you'd see hundreds of trucks lined up every day to get the coal. They're gone.
Right.
Or Willow Lake, you know, because they've shut down. So I don't think that people understand or realize, you know, the 400 miners that were laid off from Willow Lake don't have the money they had last week to go to the local stores to buy the things they buy, which, you know, puts the money back out of the community. It's like a ripple effect, and it really does affect so many people that we don't realize how far-reaching it is.
Right. And in the early 90s, 97, I got laid off, and I was a younger man then. So I decided to go back to school. Then what you run into there is you got to say we have 400 miners going back to school,
Right.
and it floods the market with whatever is needed in that. So you really, even though you went back to school, you can't find a job.
Because maybe there's 400 guys that just have a degree looking for, and there's 2 availabilities.
Right. And so it's a major ripple effect. I hate to see it happen again. I think it's going to happen a little bit, but I think it will come out of it again. You're talking about the barges. We've sent a lot of our coal down the river. And
where did you work, or do you work?
I work for Nighthawk Coal.
Okay.
And all of ours goes down. Most of ours goes down to Mississippi. And right now, the Mississippi's having trouble because of the government agencies saying they're not going to release more water into the Mississippi, and so we're having trouble there. We actually have all of our coal sold in 2013, but if you can't get it delivered down the river, then you start having problems. So
I heard a lot of that too is that Nighthawk is going to 3 or 4 days a week because of that.
Is that true?
Actually, we're shutting down for the week of Christmas, but as of right now, there's not been anything said about cutting back any days or anything. We might go miss some Fridays. They did that a couple of years ago, but that's not even being talked about right now. And I think it's just more, we can send coal down the river, but we can't send as much because you can't put as much in the barges. And, and that's another
because
that's another
of the water
problem.
Levels, right?
Right. And that's another problem that the coal industry is starting to run into, not just the political things that it comes up against here.
Real quick, in about 15 to 30 seconds, if you would like to give me your opinion, you don't have to if this is a question you don't want to answer, but what's your opinion of Barack Obama and what his administration has to do with coal?
I really think that he's trying to put it out of business through regulations. They're over-regulating everything.
Okay.
I think the organization, MSHA organization, Mine Safety and Health Administration, is a good thing to a certain extent, but I think that they can overstep their bounds on that too.
And come in and just target people.
Right. Well, I don't think they're really targeting people. They're just
hurting for money.
The way they do their laws.
Right.
Is just each inspector has a different idea.
Right. John, thank you so much for your call. I appreciate you calling. We have to take another quick break. This is Reality Check. I'm Monica Zukas. We're talking about coal. We're about to talk about the Friends of Coal Ladies Auxiliary when we get back, because there are a lot of good things going on with that group. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.